Just kidding. Just kidding. Not to mention Kenny and the bus kids. Linda has some stories to tell if she could remember them. See, I told you bus driving causes memory loss. Well, she did remember a couple of stories, and she told me about them, so now I'll tell you. Once she drove her route, which was the Buena Vista, picked up about 3 kids, turned around, and started back to town. She got in front of the old Walmart, which is now Ace Hardware, and looked in her driver's mirror and realized she forgot to pick up the rest of the kids. She wondered why the 3 kids on the bus had puzzled look on their faces. Anyway, she made a U-turn right there in front of Walmart on Wilson Street and went back to pick up her bus kids. That was pretty darn brave of her. Or what's the other word? Only Linda. With Linda, you never know what will be next. She went home one afternoon after PM route, sat down and went to sleep. When she woke up, it was almost dark out, but she thought it was morning. Yeah. So she got up and went to work, but couldn't figure out where all the other bus drivers were. Talk about getting your days and nights mixed up. She finally figured out it was the same day. Don't ask me how she figured that out. Then she went home. Only Linda. She also told me that one of her middle school students called her a bitch. She was appalled and upset. I told her that just meant she was doing her job. Well, for a fact, there is no one like Linda. She's very sweet and kind, but she did put those kids in their places. Once her bus kids were so loud and rude, she was so upset, she decided she'd blow up the bus. But she burned her lips on the tailpipe. So she gave up that idea. Only Linda. Remember when cell phones first came out? They were the flip phones. I think she still has one of those. Well, she was married to Ed Gosnell at the time, and Linda borrowed Rena's flip phone. She was driving and the phone rang. By the time she got pulled over, the phone stopped ringing. She flipped open the phone and it said, called. So she called her husband and said, what do you want? Why did you call me? He said, I didn't call you. She says, well, it says, called. Call in.
Call in.
Only Linda. Another thing about Linda I noticed is she laughs at jokes just because she didn't get it. I told her to quit acting like an idiot. And she said, who's acting? The other day, Linda needed some 2x4s. She goes to Ace Hardware and asks the clerk for them. He said, well, how long do you need them? Linda said, well, they're holding up my front porch, so I'll need them for a long, long time. Linda is so absent-minded, she stood in front of the mirror wondering where she had seen herself before. Only Linda. At church one Sunday, the pastor asked her, do you think you can just sleep while I preach? She said, well, I could if you didn't talk so loud. She falls asleep with the drop of a hat. Only Linda. Y'all know that Rena and Linda are sisters. Duh. Well, they are. They were on an exercise kick, so they took up bike riding. They had a bicycle built for 2. They came up on a steep hill, huffing and puffing, and they finally reached the top, breathless. Phew, said Rena, that was a long climb. You're not kidding, sighed Linda. If I hadn't kept my hand on the brake, we'd have rolled back down the hill. Good grief. If Linda ever won a gold medal, she'd have it bronzed. Only Linda. I asked her once if she knew the difference between electricity and lightning. She said, well, you don't have to pay for a lightning bill. Not long ago, Linda went to the movies. She bought a ticket from the girl in the glass booth. The girl said, well, that's the 3rd ticket you bought. Linda replied, I know, but before I even get in the door, some jerk keeps tearing it in half. Only Linda. Linda got pulled over for speeding. No, really, she was going too slow. The cop gave her a ticket. She said in a huff, well, what am I supposed to do with this? Save it, said the cop. When you collect 4 of them, you get to ride a bicycle. Not long after that, she was pulled over again. The cop says, let me see your driver's license. Linda said, I wish you people would get it together. And one day you take them away, and the next day you ask them to show it. Only Linda. decided to go to a doctor for weight loss. The doctor said, tell me, Miss Poston, what is your diet like? You know, your eating habits. Okay, said Linda, for breakfast I have a gallon of grape juice, a liter of prune juice, and 6 bowls of oatmeal. Then I finish up with 8 croissants, half a dozen eggs, and a Diet Dr. Pepper. For lunch I have a can of Spam, a pot of soup, a pound of coleslaw, a dozen donuts, and a Diet Dr. Pepper. For supper I start with a 10-pound lobster, a meatloaf, some stew, a turkey, a loaf of bread, and finish up with apple pie, olive mode, and a Diet Dr. Pepper. Good heavens, exclaimed the doctor, that's a lot. Linda said, I know what you're gonna say. You think I drink too many Diet Dr. Peppers. The doctor asked her, well, are you taking those strength pills I gave you and are they working? Linda said, I don't know. I'm not strong enough to get the cap off the bottle yet. But doctor, I did take your advice for losing weight. I took off all my clothes and stood in front of a mirror. Well, did it work? Asked the doctor. Well, yes, said Linda, until they threw me out of the restaurant. She told her doctor, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I hurt all over. If I touch my shoulder here, it hurts. If I touch my leg here, it hurts. If I touch my head here, it hurts. If I touch my foot here, it hurts. The doctor says, I think you've broken your finger. But she really does hurt in all those places. Believe it or not, Linda used to love to read. Some of the books she has read are The Sinking of the Titanic by Mandy Lifeboat, Autobiography of a Werewolf by Harry S. Smith, How to Raise the Dead by Mortuaries, Galloping Galaxies by Solar System, Home Dentistry by I Am Numb, The Home Guide to Bullfighting by Matt Adore, Parachuting Made Easy by Willie Macon, How to Be a Happy Camper by Lucinda Woods, How to Recover from a Hospital Visit by Glad It's Over, and her favorite, I Was a Hell's Angel by Head of the Pack. Linda is very adventuresome, only Linda. A few years back, she met a guy and brought him over to meet her sisters. They were appalled at his appearance. He had greasy hair, tattoos, a dirty language, and an air of hostility. After he left, Rena told Linda, he doesn't seem like a very nice person to me. And Linda said, well, Rena, if he wasn't a nice person, why would he be doing 500 hours of community service? Only Linda. Yesterday, Linda asked me what IDK means. I said, I don't know. She said, dang, nobody knows what it means. Not long before she retired, I asked her, why do you drive so slow? And why does it take you so long to load all the kids at the school? She said, well, why do you question everything I do? I said, well, everything you do is questionable. Yes, we've had some trying times, trying to remember one day to the next. Only Linda. Linda told me that she thinks there ought to be a practice for growing old. She said it just crept up on her. She said there were signs like random hair growth, turning her left signal on all day, and neck skin that takes on a life of its own. She said last November she was afraid to leave the house. Get it? In November, turkey neck. Only Linda. So only Linda, at your age, you've seen it all, you've done it all, you've heard it all, just can't remember it all. Join the club. We all wish you the very best and a happy retirement. Love and best wishes from the Border ISD bus drivers and staff.
Yeah.
That was good. Hey, Brady. Brady's gonna sing you a song.
They're singing with me.